Hi everybody, welcome back to Creative Light Tarot. So I decided that I would do a reading for the Spring Equinox since we really are going through a time of great spiritual awakening, and the astrological alignments have been just amazing since the beginning of the year. I mean, we've had, 2 full moons in January. There was no full moon in February. And then again, 2 full moons in March. So I thought I would just do a little review, and then we can do an overall reading for entering into the spring, where we are going to be welcoming in, this beautiful time. Where we may feel like there's a time of inspiration as the days start to become lighter and brighter, and so let's see. So on March the 8th, Jupiter went retrograde. And then we had a new moon in Pisces on March the 17th. And that was really closely aligned with Chiron, which is the wounded healer. So we went into Jupiter retrograde, Jupiter in Scorpio, which takes us into this deep place, introspection, and looking at things to expand, to help us with our health and our spirituality, and our ascension as spiritual beings here. And let's see, March the 20th is the equinox, the spring equinox, and also the start of the Aries season, right? And the sun's annual entrance into Aries, it starts with the spring equinox, but it's kind of like the new year of the astrological calendar as well. So, if you want to make some new resolutions and stuff, now's a really good time, right? So let's see. So then March the 22nd, Mercury went retrograde. And Mercury is retrograde. Mercury is conjunct Venus. It's retrograde conjunct with Venus, which has to do with our communication. Mercury is communication, and then Venus has to do with our relationships. So a lot of the things that we might be affecting us not only would be things to do with travel, technology, communication, but those things to do with matters of love and affection. And there's our first card for our theme here for the equinox. And let's see, we have we're going to be ending this month with a full moon on Saturday, March the 31st, which is going to be 10 degrees in Libra. That's the second full moon of this calendar month, which is a blue moon, right? It's called a blue moon when 2 full moons happen in the same month. But Mercury will also be retrograde. And so this is a time when you might actually really feel blue with the blue moon. We've got a lot of deep things that are going on right now, and a lot of introspection, a lot of Planets in alignment that bring us to a place where we need to detox and renew. So Mercury in retrograde and also with the blue moon does bring challenges. So, it's a good time to face challenges and release them with the coming of spring, with the start of the spring. And then, coming through to the end of March. So hopefully that makes sense for you. I'll explain a little bit more as we go along here. And I'm also going to end this particular reading with crystal yoga. Crystal yoga. I'll open this for you in a little while. But basically, it's a new. Well, it's old, but it's something that I'm going to start. And if you have something that is on your mind. If you have something on your mind that needs healing, then you could pause the video now, or you could pause it when I start to do the crystal yoga. So then we will have that will be a chance for you to join with everyone else to have a healing. Okay? So let's see what is going on right now. Hello. Okay. So, balancing career and home life. Well, gee, what could be better than right now with the equinox to be balancing your career and your home life? So, your work and things at home. So things to do with work, so relationships at work or your personal relationships. Mercury is retrograde as of March the 22nd, and so there are things that you may want to start just paying attention to in terms of communications, whether that be technology or travel or your relationships. Let's see what else we've got happening here. Oh my goodness. Okay, so health and healing. Okay, you saw me shuffle, right? So I couldn't have planned this. I'm just so excited now to see this one. So health and healing. Well, this is very much a time for detoxing. Even decluttering your home and spring cleaning, of course. But also to, in terms of coming up to a blue moon, yes, we are affected by the moon phases. We certainly are. And if we keep things positive, if we keep our thoughts positive, if we try to balance our home life and not be working too much or overworking, which, Aries is about fast movement and, hard work. So we're entering into the Aries season as of, March the 20th. And then we've got Mercury going retrograde. So on the one hand, we've got, Aries that acts fast and thinks later, and we've got Mercury that wants us to just back up, slow down, back up, and take a look at things. So you've got movement forward and you've got movement back. So you're kind of feeling like you're going forward with the brakes on, So if you are feeling that way, it's a real thing that you could be affected by. Okay. All right. Let's pick up the third card. Oh my gosh. Okay. So we really, really are, this is about aligning. Okay. So if you work with the moon cycles, whether you're masculine or feminine, whether you're a man or a woman watching this, you can balance within you your masculine and your feminine within, okay? So we're going to be doing an energy healing as we finish this reading, and we'll do it with the crystals. The crystals that I happen to have are moonstone crystals, and I'll tell you a little bit more about those crystals when we get into that. But this is really, really, really emphasizing here, this reading, to look at balancing your life in matters of health and in matters of healing. Now, we're talking healing, emotional healing, as much as we are talking about healing your health, because your emotions affect your health. Your thoughts create your actions, and those actions are manifesting your life, right? It's a time and a season of transition and of daylight increasing and of letting go of the old, releasing what no longer works for us. However, we've got a Mercury retrograde, so there are things that we are looking at. We can have ex-lovers, ex-partners return, old friends return, and because Mercury is retrograde in conjunct Venus, we might be feeling a little more social as well. This is a really good with Mercury retrograde in Venus, that being relating to matters of love and friends and partners and things like that. One other thing that's happening on March the 31st, beside being a full moon and a blue moon, Venus will be entering Taurus. All right, so that also bodes well for intimacy. Taurus, this sensual, earthy sign. So we have a lot of things going on, right? There's this big melting pot. Are we going to feel sad? Are we going to, we're going to get into our feelings. We're going to be looking at intimacy. We might be looking at seeing old friends, getting more social. We might even get some of our communication mixed up on the way because Mercury is going to be retrograde in Venus. And then we see our ex-partner, and our ex-partner wants to come into our life. And then we've got all these things going on, and we're going to be facing challenges and all these things. And at the same time, we want to detox. OMG, right? OMG. Hello. Please, 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 let's look at balancing things. I almost don't even want to pick another card. You saw it here, okay? All right. I'm going to just because Mercury is retrograde, and because we are having a blue moon, and it's fun. Let's just face a few challenges more, shall we, right about now? What the heck? Why not? There we go. Because we're all feeling a little vulnerable, right? When all of these kinds of things start happening, it definitely does create a sense of vulnerability. We don't know what's going on in our lives sometimes. If we're going forward into this, like coming out of Pisces. Oh my goodness. Okay, so Pisces season just really Jupiter going retrograde in Pisces season. We had the new moon on March the 17th in Pisces, and just bringing us into this deep space, right? That this vulnerability is absolutely par for the course, right? And let's see. So, Aries, Libra, the moon is in Libra on the 31st. Again, these are really, these alignments are very important for relationships. Anyway, here we have a lovely meadow, a spring meadow, and the flowers are all blooming. And the thing about being in this open field is that we can feel very vulnerable when everything is so wide open like this. Or we could feel very free as well. It really depends on how you want to look at it, because, going into introspection, going into yourself and learning about yourself and knowing yourself better is also a way to free yourself. I'm thinking of that song by U2. It's called Hold Me Close, and I think the other title is Iris. But some of the lines on that, or the lyrics on that is, oh my gosh, no, it just went out of my mind. See, that's what happens. Free yourself. All I can think of is free yourself. Okay, so in knowing yourself and understanding yourself, you are actually freeing yourself. Sometimes we think that being vulnerable is a weakness, but being vulnerable can absolutely be a strength. Can be a strength as well, right? So let's pick another one here. When we start going into a health regime or doing detoxing, we can absolutely feel vulnerable, because our body is ridding we are ridding our body. Our body is ridding toxins. You're getting rid of toxins. So they come up to the surface, and that can happen with emotions as well. If things aren't in balance, and then we do something to try and balance them, there's a shift, there's a shift taking place where we might feel one stronger one day, and we have to release it. So it comes to the surface like, like when the cells, the white blood cells, come to a wound and an area of inflammation, and then it's released, right? That's, kind of like physically that happens, and emotionally that happens as well. Let's pick another one, see where we're coming to here. So as you listen to your sun sign readings that I will be doing as well from now until the end of March, take this equinox reading into consideration for all of for everyone's sun signs, because ultimately this does affect us all. I'm going to pick one more. I think it wants to be this one. Okay. Oh, okay, what did I just say? Shape-shifting, right? So we are feeling a shift. So the thing about, I want to talk about the blue moon for a moment. When we do if we're feeling blue and we have some negative thoughts coming through, the idea of noticing those thoughts is what's coming up with this particular card and the vibration of this card. So we change with the season. We shape shift in our lives, in our emotions. We shape shift as we balance things in our lives, and we bring our healing, our health into healing. And if we have negative thoughts or vibrations, we want to notice them and change them into positive emotions. And I want to emphasize that at this time because the daylight is changing, right? The daylight is getting lighter and lighter as we've come to this spring equinox, and we need to embrace that and go with it as well. And even just getting outside more can be inspiring, and purifying, and that's what we want to do right now. That's what we want to do as we come into the beginning of the astrological calendar, and also into the spring equinox. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I just, this can mean a few different things. I want to say that it's bringing us into Taurus. Venus is going to enter Taurus on March the 31st, as well as the full moon, right? And also this energy healing and fire, passion. So we can heal ourselves by allowing our passion to come forward. Now, that can also be a positive thing when Mercury is retrograde, because with Mercury being retrograde and conjunct Venus, which is in the area of love and partnerships, then this can actually be a positive thing and sort of, get us to go out and be a little more social, but also that if we need to revisit, we can visit with old friends that we are looking forward to seeing, old friends, old family, family members that we haven't seen for a long time, relationships, different friends can come into our lives for good reasons, as well as to revisit anything that we may have to face, karmically. There's a lot of karmic things going on in the heavens, in the spiritual realm of things as well. There are a lot of karmic patterns that are coming to an end, so that we enter into a spiritual phase of our lives. So there's a lot of endings and a lot of beginnings, and the spring equinox is very much a part of that kind of energy of things ending and also rebirth, So what I want to do next is I'm just going to show you these. I'm also going to be picking a spa card for everybody at the end of the sun sign readings that I do. Now it's sun, you can sun, moon, your ascendant or your Venus sign, whichever one works for you. You can check all of those readings out so you can get a greater information about yourself. And then because it's the spring, I'm going to pick a spa card for each sign. And these are the cards that I'm going to be using. And so you can check that out for the upcoming readings that I'm going to be doing. Okay, so we'll just keep that there, and we'll leave you in suspense so you can check that out. And now, if you are ready, here is where we are going to get you to think of something in particular that you need to have a healing for in your life. You can stop the video here, or we can keep going, because I'm going to tell you a little bit about moonstones. So I've had these for a while, and basically it's a form of meditation that I do, and it just happens to be moonstones, and I thought that would be really appropriate since we have coming up to a blue moon and a full moon on March the 31st. So, moonstones, they really do help with, they're a very feminine, they're a feminine energy stone. I've got a raw stone and some beautiful, they're just little pieces of the moonstone. But basically they're a blue type of, they've got a blue ray in it, like, shining rays of blue, but there's also white, a white kind of shimmer in it. And so moonstone helps to harmonize the body with the natural lunar cycles, believe it or not. So that's one of the properties of moonstone. Also, if you're traveling at night, hence the moon and the moonstone, it's sort of a good talisman to have with you. But it also helps to balance, and it's a very, it's a feminine energy crystal. And so we've got here the balancing career and home life. And so in balancing or harmonizing the feminine within us all, your inner feminine, right? So we all have feminine and masculine. So whether you're a woman or a man, this energy can help to balance and nurture and harmonize the feminine aspects of us all. And with Venus, with Taurus entering Venus on the 31st, and also with Mercury being conjunct Venus, I mean, this is perfect, right? And so basically this also helps to balance the emotions and understand the emotions. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to now this will resonate. Take what resonates with you, and what doesn't resonate, then you release that. Let it go. So I'm just going to do some channeling here, and you will see how this goes. Some of the things I say may resonate with you, and some may not. Okay, so let's just go with this for the spring equinox, and keep all these things in mind as well. Okay, so as we take our energy and our healing for all the viewers of this video, we ask Spirit to guide us in the things that we are currently asking for in terms of healing and healing energies. And I don't know if you can hear that, but we got the siren going past at the same time. And so that's kind of interesting. It speaks to the Aries aspect of going quickly, but it also speaks to the retrograde, that we need to slow down. So for the mind, body, and spirit, we ask for healing for those who are feeling vulnerable. For those who are feeling vulnerable in their relationships. For those who are feeling vulnerable in their relationships at work. For those who are feeling vulnerable in their relationships with their family members. For those who are feeling vulnerable with their partners. Their lovers, their spouses, their dates. For vulnerability in general. And for those who feel the fire, the passion in their lives, who wish to go forward, but are perhaps delayed a little bit. May they be able to find balance, because Mercury right now, being retrograde, wouldn't actually be a very good time for them to move forward, and thus the delay. This delay is part of divine timing. This delay is something which may they feel comforted by, since love, an aspect of love, unconditional love, is an aspect or is a part of true love. True love. True love. True love and energy healing for those who are feeling restricted due to challenges, whether those challenges be addictions. May they feel release from the toxic energy around them, and may their loved ones feel the support of the sun, which brings the light into the spring equinox, for those who need it, those who need the energy of the sun as it becomes brighter and brings us a positive feeling as we see it rise in the morning and as we see it set in the evening, later and later in the evening. And may we enjoy this social time of gathering with friends, perhaps finally sitting out on a patio, going outside and earthing, going outside and putting our feet in the soil, in the gardens, in the waters, and feeling the warmth not only of the rays of the sun, but of the passion that we feel, the passion that we are feeling from the energy of the ending of the eclipse season and the coming into this new astrological new year, and with the full moon, blue moon, on the 31st of March. May we feel the energy bringing us into alignment and balance. May it bring us into balance in all areas of our life. May we take time to meditate, and may we take time to release worries and doubts and fears. May we have used the time throughout the past month or so to get a better understanding of ourselves, whether it was through trial fire or whether we felt vulnerable, or whether we had an incredible imbalance in any area of our life, or whether we had a health issue and need to bring healing into our lives. And with that, I wish you all a wonderful spring equinox and a wonderful coming into Aries season. And we will see you again really soon. And also, I want to say that the first Sunday after the Aries full moon is Easter Sunday, which is a time of spiritual, is a time of celebration. It's a time of celebration. And a time of great spiritual awakening, of death and rebirth, and of resurrection. And these aspects, these themes, may they be in our lives to help us in our inner resurrection, in our inner knowledge, in our inner wisdom, to know our own strength, and to be brought back to a place of balance, restoring our energies with this full moon, and with beautiful rays of blue and shimmering white. May we be healed. May the sacred feminine be balanced with the masculine as we come into this beautiful time, this beautiful, harmonious time of our lives. I wish you all the very best. Okay, and I want to say namaste at the end of that, because it's about the light in me honoring the light in you. So there you go. Please look forward to the sun sign readings that I'll be doing soon. And if you would like to connect with me, you can reach me at Creative Light Tarot 8, the number 8, at gmail.com. Thank you so much.